Thanks for your support as a channel member, Optics! We're enjoying a fantastic point scoring run at AHGP, scoring in all of the last 4 rounds. Can we make it 5 at our home race at Silverstone? Hello folks and welcome to a brand new episode of F1 Create A Team here with AHGP. We're getting ready for the team and mine home race, the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Come on, this is just, it's always the best weekend of the year. I'm totally biased in that sense, and I won't stop being biased in that direction because I just love the Silverstone circuit. The British Grand Prix weekend is just fantastic. Anyway, we have played the Austrian Grand Prix off camera and we picked up another points scoring result. Fred Vesti getting P10. Now, we actually had a wet quali and we had our best ever qualifying result. Paul Aron finished 5th in Q3. Fred Vesti was 10th after a spin, but that was just astonishing. We had such a good qualifying, but sadly it didn't quite pan out in the race. In Q2, Antonelli, Piastri, Sonoda and Pourchaire were all eliminated and they were all likely to come through, and they did. So we had a wet race as well, a dry start, rain around half distance. So I split the strategies slightly differently, as you can see from the footage on the screen. I'm sure I'm editing in at the moment. Paul Aron got pushed wide at turn 1, lost a couple of places. Then he had a lock-up on his way to eventually finishing 11th. Vesti he gained from Paul Aron, losing a few places on the opening lap. He had a nice points battle with Daniel Ricciardo, then he got gobbled up by the other guys who were all out of position. And yeah, he eventually caught Lando Norris for P10, who had a mechanical issue. So we made this late pass on the McLaren driver to finish in the points, which means in the championship standings we now have 18 points. We're 15 clear of Williams. We just keep eking that gap further and further out from the Grove-based team. Aston Martin are well out of reach. We're not going to be catching them this season, so we are just going to be continuing to research the majority of parts. That's all we need to do, I think, for now. We'll update, we'll do a few sort of upgrade packages, say, for the second half of the season. But most of our efforts is going to be going into researching for 2026 because we want a good car from the off, something we can fight with. And that's exactly what we plan to do in today's episode as we get ready for the British Grand Prix. Just on championship standings once more, shout out to Name in the Game member Justin, who scored his first Formula 2 points. So he finished 7th in the sprint race in Austria. So he got himself off the mark. Pulse Potato has 24 points. Neither of them setting the F2 world alight at the moment, sadly. That is Kushmani setting the pace, closely followed by Zane Maloney. Gabriel Bortoletto some 60 points off the lead. So potentially we could pick up maybe one of these two as an affiliate or a potential driver for next season. I have scouted this bloke. Don't know if any of you have heard of him. I did have a look to see if he was interested. He's not particularly interested. Even though the appeal bar is quite big, it's quite difficult to get it anywhere near the little bar that you need in that appeal blue bar. He's not interested, is in short. So we'll probably just renew Fred's contract for another year, if Mercedes will let us. And then we'll partner in with Paul Aron for next season. Everyone seems to be very happy at the moment, which is great. Yeah, one enthusiastic, Paul Aron, having a great time. He's loving life here. Andy, Jermac, Callum, whose contract we've renewed, Gary, and one more person is very happy. Bono, Pulse Potato, and Justin are just, they're here, they pick up their paycheck, they go home, sort of thing. So, Silverstone, sprint weekend, so less of me rambling and more track action, please. I'll see you for the sprint and then we'll go through qualifying for the Grand Prix and do the race as well. See you in a moment. Here we go with the sprint then. The lights are coming on. It's an all Red Bull front row. 5 red lights. The lights are out, the sprint is on. We go from 10th and 13th, and Daniel Ricciardo has got a better start than Fred Vesti, and we immediately drop out of the top 10. But what is Paul Aaron up to? He is sitting behind Carlos Sainz there as Fred Vesti sends it back past Daniel Ricciardo, who appears to be on a set of soft tyres. Starting on mediums here, that was a slam dunk for me, a no-brainer, but most of the top 10, except Leclerc, are on softs, so if we can stay with them, we can apply pressure and make them use their tyres more. As Vesti looks down the inside, let's hop on board as we go past the Aston Martin back into the top 10. Fabulous stuff from Fred, and Paul Aaron remains in 13th, but Fred, are we making sure we keep this position? Oh, Ricciardo's coming back through, and through Copse Corner he retakes the position, but oh wow, Fred was not having that, was he? He's like, nope, I'm going round the outside. I don't care who you are, what you've done, I'm going round the outside. Great move. Right, lap 5, and we've lost touch with Ricciardo. We've dropped Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly, and our drivers are just running together. Antonelli's got a mechanical fault, but here comes Paul Aaron. He's having a look at trying to get past his teammate. He's been told not to fight him, to be fair, so we won't be having any accidents. That's for certain. This is kind of where we are. We're ahead of Williams and Haas and Alpine and VCarb, but we're not quick enough to stay with Aston Martin, Mercedes, McLaren and Ferrari and Red Bull. So we just kind of get stuck in this middle phase. Look at the gap. There's a little gap between us and the top 5, and then there's a bigger gap between us and everybody else, which I suppose is promising. It shows the team moved in the right direction. But 50 degrees track temperature. Let's see how everyone's doing on their tyres. The soft tyres are melting. Good. We'll come back to this a little bit later in the race, I think, and see how we've progressed. Lap 12 of the sprint, and we are closing in on Antonelli and Daniel Ricciardo. It's not going to be for a point, sadly, but Paul Aaron is getting himself in the mix. We do need to save some fuel still, which is why we're conserving. But we are pushing on our tyres. Paul Aaron has got himself into DRS range now, so hopefully we can launch an assault on the top 10. Pourchaire's not that far up the road. Maybe the tyres are starting to fall apart as George Russell takes the lead. Yeah, Antonelli's struggling on his tyres. Ricciardo and Pourchaire not much better off. Well, they're significantly better off, but they're not particularly in a great position. Tsunoda not making great use of his tyres, and we are now in position to attack them, but we have our own problem in that we are fuel limited. So let's see if Paul Aaron can make the move on Antonelli. Right, here we go. DRS. I think Antonelli's got DRS as well. That's going to be a problem, so we need his tyres to completely fall apart, and then we'll be able to find a way through. We'll just go standard on Paul's tyres, but the DRS train is now absolutely in effect, and it means we will be able to hopefully move ourselves into 9th position as this race comes to an end. Fred Vesti getting involved now. They're 3 wide. 4 drivers into turn 15, Stowe corner. And please don't crash into each other, lads. Vesti coming back through. He forces his teammate wide. As long as they don't make contact, it's all fair game, in my opinion. Has Ricciardo lost DRS? No, he's not. Right, Vesti, your turn. Can you get past? Fred Vesti's into the top 10. He's just nailed Antonelli into the Vale chicane. Or is it through club? Yeah, through club corner. Nice. And the Mercedes driver running off the road a little bit. Doesn't give Paul Aaron quite the opportunity to get through, but Fred can now get after Ricciardo, and through he goes. Let's attack on the tyres. We've got 2 laps remaining. We could yet snatch a point in this sprint because Pourchaire is struggling on his tyres and some drivers are approaching the puncture zone. So if we can get a couple of those, that would be delightful. There's a couple of mechanicals as well. Hamilton is 12.8 seconds up the road. Does look like he's slowing though. Final lap started by George Russell. Mercedes looking to win the team's, well, I say the team's home race. They're obviously based in Brackley, which is in the UK. Vesti doing a lovely job at chasing down Teo Pourchaire here. Let's attack with Paul Aaron as well as we close out this sprint race. Oh, we've lost DRS. Pourchaire did a number on us there. This is, well, we're going to get one shot at it. Paul Aaron can deploy. He might be able to find a way through. What's he up to? He's still stuck in that train. I don't think we're going to have quite enough to catch Pourchaire, which is mightily frustrating. All of this effort will have been for literally no points. As George Russell wins the sprint, Pourchaire is just going to elude us. That's frustrating. Very frustrating. But actually, both drivers have moved forward one position from when they No! Oh my. We're not going to finish ninth. We've run out of fuel. Fred Vesti has fallen short. Literally, he's at the line. He's at the line. And Paul Aaron is just down the road, out of fuel.
You can do this.
Oh dear.
So you'll be coming into the pit lane.
No, he won't be coming into the pit lane, Bono. Here's Fred. Get out and push, mate. That's all I can advise. Closing stages of Q2 then. We eased our way through Q1 and we currently find ourselves in the top 10 with both cars. Charles Leclerc, Kimi Antonelli, Daniel Ricciardo, all drivers who probably have machinery to be ahead of us. And yeah, I think they've just been caught out by traffic. Not so many cars on track at the moment, so shouldn't be an issue for us. In fact, the car ahead of us is Charles Leclerc, and he's on a hot lap. Did Vesti... Oh, Vesti didn't get the... He's not got his lap in. How have we managed that? Right, well, Vesti's going to be out because Leclerc will do a faster lap. So Paul Aaron should be in, which means I probably... I don't think I need to finish this lap, but we're going to do it anyway. Paul Aaron is going to be in Q3. Charles Leclerc goes fastest. Paul Aaron goes 5th. Wow, what a lap from him. That was impressive. Sadly for Fred, he didn't get his second run in. I'm sure he'd have been able to go faster. So, yeah, that's disappointing. But he'll start 11th and in a really good position to attack the point-paying positions. Paul Aaron is building up to his final qualifying lap. He will get the flag. 15 seconds left of the session. He's currently 9th, ahead of Lando Norris. So we did our run on used tyres, which would have been also more wrecked by the fact that he spun on his outlap. I don't know why, but anyway, he spun on his outlap. So this lap should, and hopefully will, be better. It's how? I just don't get this. It doesn't make any sense. We're now 10th because Lando Norris has only gone 9th, interestingly. What's the traffic situation? The Mercedes gets out of the way well for us. Hopefully Sector 2 is an improvement. It is. That's good. And I think that's Antonelli up ahead. It is. He'll be heading into the pit lane. Out of our way. Excellent stuff. Right, Paul Aaron, can you find just over a 10th to get ahead of Lando Norris? Oh wow, he's gone 8th! He's got ahead of Antonelli and Lando Norris. A stunning lap. Brilliant lap from Paul Aaron. P8. Oh, that is fantastic at our home race. Charles Leclerc locks out, leads a Ferrari front row lockout. Max Verstappen only 6th, but AHGP 8th on the grid for the British Grand Prix. Probably should have had both cars in Q3, but that happens sometimes. Absolutely brilliant. It wasn't as quick as his Q2 lap, interestingly, which would have put him, a 26.3 would have put him in the same place. It wouldn't have been any quicker, any higher up on the grid. So, yeah, doesn't matter. Let's go to the Grand Prix and hopefully convert these positions into points. I've put both our drivers on the same strategy because I don't want to use the soft tyres too much because they're made of jelly basically. They can't withstand the heat of the actual heat of around the Silverstone circuit on a sunny day, and also the forces put through the tyres through the corners are just enormous, so they wear out through that as well. I just don't want to use them. I want to stay away from them. They might be fast, but I don't want to. I want to be able to push essentially. So we're going medium, hard, soft, and we've taken a couple of laps of fuel out. we're ready to go. Let's see if we can convert 8th and 11th into some lovely points and make it 5 rounds in a row that we picked up points. Let's go to the grid for the motor race. All Ferrari front row then. Can Lewis Hamilton win his first race for Ferrari at Silverstone? 5 red lights. The lights are out. The race is on. How are we off the line today? The right hand side of the grid, slow away. Kimi Antonelli immediately mugs us. Vesti is looking around the outside of his teammate. Paul Aron is fighting back though against the Italian driver, lunging up the inside. Bit of a personal rivalry there because Paul Aron let go from the Mercedes Academy because they had Kimi Antonelli. We've actually lost a bit of ground. That's not ideal. And Vesti got balked a bit as well. So, yeah, I mean, we've lost and gained a place. Both cars are in the points. Let's stay here. Okay, that's our drivers fighting away against each other and losing time to the drivers ahead. Ricciardo and Norris are the two that are behind us. They're fighting, so they're losing time to us. Vesti has now moved in front of Paul Aron. So let's deploy some battery and see if... Well, we're probably not quick enough to catch the guys ahead, let's be honest. We just need to be as fast as possible to hopefully not let Ricciardo and Norris through, but that's easier said than done. Lando Norris has caught and passed Paul Aron. He's put the hammer down and he has moved himself into the top 10, which is disappointing for us, because it means only one of our 2 drivers will be able to pick up a point as it stands. Tsunoda has a mechanical issue though, so possibility that could get worse and he could be out of the race as Lando Norris scythes his way into 9th place. And we won't be seeing him until the end of the Grand Prix, probably. So, nice to see you, Lando. We'll see you at the flag. Well, we are now out of the points. A mistake from Fred Vesti let Daniel Ricciardo through, and then this happened immediately after. He got DRS, and he went past. It's all very predictable, all very sad. Now we're 11th and 12th, so...
Alrighty. Nice.
I would strongly disagree with those sentiments, Daniel. Actually. Oh, Paul! It's just locked up at the Vale chicane, under no pressure, not asking him to do anything special. He's just made a pure mistake. Don't think there's any damage to the car. It has let Fred through. Fortunately, we are several seconds clear of Zhou and Sainz and Bottas. Bottas just going into the pit lane. So, yeah, that's a nerf into the tyres, which means we'll probably need to bring him in earlier. It's 55 degrees on track, so yeah, these tyres are taking a bit of a pounding. We've got mechanical issues for Tsunoda, Hamilton and Verstappen, which could help us into the points. Paul Aron in at the end of lap 16 for his first stop of the day, and it's a 2.1 second stop. Nice job, pit crew. Loving that work. We're still top of the pit stop competition, so long may that continue. And George Russell has just found his way past Fred Vesti because they've all stopped. Fred hasn't. Not that we're in the race with them, let's be honest. They're not our race. So we're just going to run our strategy. We're going to see where we end up. Hi, Tsunoda. Bye, Tsunoda. And that is also Antonelli cruising up behind us. Fred is going to be coming in at the end of lap 18, I think. Or is it 19? I think it's lap 19 he's coming in. So he's got a couple of laps to go. Right, Fred's in for his stop. Let's stop Paul Aron pushing so hard on his tyres. 2.3 second stop. Lovely jubbly. Off we go. And back out. He's been undercut by his teammate, but we will reverse that because obviously Paul... Well, both drivers actually made a mistake. So, well, I think Fred was behind Paul when he made his error. So it doesn't matter. We'll probably have to make some team orders to move Fred ahead. But that is fine. We'll deal with that later. Let's deploy some battery, get the tyres up to temperature, put some personal best sectors in, and see if we can build this apparently very low confidence. Okay, that's us just moving past Carlos Sainz, who dives into the pit lane, and we return to 11th and 12th. Fred has moved ahead of his teammate again, and Paul Aron has been told to hold station because we're just waiting for Verstappen, Tsunoda, we don't really want Hamilton to have a mechanical failure. We'd rather it happen to Tsunoda and Verstappen, considering it's the British Grand Prix. But yeah, we won't be fussy about who it is, to be honest. Whoever drops out of the top 10, we will gladly take their place and pick up the points. Lap 30 then of the British Grand Prix. We are 11 seconds behind Théo Pourchaire. There's 2.7 seconds between our drivers. We're 14 seconds clear of Zhou. We're at one of these annoying phases where there's not been a safety car and we've been overtaken by the faster drivers. We're too fast for the other guys behind to have any real sort of threat. And our drivers are now slightly apart on their strategies, so they're just kind of running their own races. It's fairly unspectacular work right now. We're still just waiting for some mechanical failures, to be honest. We want some bad luck to befall some other people. And I know that's not particularly nice, but yeah, let's keep wishing it. Right, we are bringing both of our boys in early, 1 lap early, for soft tyres to finish this race. We might, well, I doubt we'll be able to hunt down Ricciardo and Tsunoda ahead. Pourchaire's just going to go past because he is just out from a pit stop. 2.5 second stop for Fred, 2.2 for Paul Aaron, and that is the pit crew's work done for the day, at least in the pit lane. So we've recovered all of our fuel. We're not under any threat from behind. We're 17 seconds clear of Hulkenberg. Sainz is between us and on dying softs, so he might come out on a set of softs and be pretty quick, but he's got to close us down, and the soft tyres are literally jelly around this circuit. 52 degrees of track temperature. We're not really going to be catching anybody, so yes, yeah, it's just waiting for some of these mechanical failures to really do some damage, or someone to make a mistake, and it not to be us. Please don't be us. Alright, let's have some fun. Let's at least let our drivers race. Paul Aaron has been told he is free to fight his teammate. They're both on the same instructions. They're both on the same tyres. They've got marginally different setups, but they're fairly happy with that. And now they just get to race each other. Obviously, if 11th becomes 10th because someone else in front has dropped out, the fight will be immediately called off. But Paul Aaron is having a look down the inside. And please don't do what it says on the rear wing and bang into each other. We could very much do without that. But yeah, we are 26.5 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz in the Williams. And that's a Carlos Sainz who was, you know, streets ahead of us earlier on in the season. And now we have got both of our drivers operating very well in a good car that allows them to express their talent. And now they get to fight each other for, you know, absolutely no points, just pride. That's all it's about at the moment. That's all 11th gets you is, you know, I'm the best of the people that didn't get anything to go home with.
So we can have a debris on track.
That is Daniel Ricciardo, and he has half of his front wing missing. Let's see what's happened here. Oh, he's going to have absolutely annihilated Tsunoda into the Vale chicane. Yep. That's a dive bomb that's gone wrong. Where is Tsunoda? He's there. He's got a mechanical fault, so he will be out of this race. Ricciardo will be in the pit lane. Both of our drivers will now be in the top 10. Paul Aaron's just got himself ahead of Fred Vesti. Tell you what, don't fight your teammate. Let's just make sure that we are going to get into the points. 5-second time penalty for Ricciardo. He will surely be in the pit lane. Where is he? Ricciardo. Oh, no, he's still on the lap that he's just been completing. Pourchaire is catching him rapidly. Surely he dies for the pit lane. He does indeed. Where's Tsunoda? He's also in the pit lane. It's going to be double points o'clock for AHGP. Ricciardo is going in. Look at the state of that front wing. 9th and 10th for AHGP. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, we can call the fight off. Who qualified ahead? It was Paul Aaron. So yeah, he just got himself in front as well by the time that the call had to be made. Charles Leclerc is starting his final lap of the race. And that's him in the background. I don't think he's going to lap us, so I think we will be the last cars to fill the 52 lap quota of completing this Grand Prix, and it will mean that we get double points. So let's fast forward to that point, which is the more exciting bit, and Charles Leclerc wins the British Grand Prix. Hooray for him. Everybody else is coming across the line. Ricciardo is lapped, so he misses out. Fantastic. And let's go over the line in formation then, lads. Why not? And that I believe is Ollie Behrman that's just ahead of us. We waited, we kept our cars in one piece, and we have profited with 3 points, double points for AHGP at our home race. I'm chuffed, absolutely chuffed to bits with that. A brilliant home race. Thank you, Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda, for, you know, crashing into each other. Do that a bit more, that'd be great. Charles Leclerc wins the British Grand Prix ahead of George Russell and Oscar Piastri. Lewis Hamilton nurses his Ferrari to 7th. We did lose a place with Paul and gain one with Fred, so yeah, they kind of met in the middle. That worked out nicely, didn't it? Drivers' Championship standings. Fred has 14 points now. He hadn't scored since Austria. No, he scored in the last round in Austria, hadn't he? Ignore me. And Paul now has 7, so that means we have a whopping 21 points. Amazing. I mean, this time last year we were rock bottom. Didn't even look like scoring a point. Now we're coming into weekends going, actually, we could get both cars in the points if things go our way. And today they did. Brilliant. Double points. How did we do in the pit stop competition? P2 and P8. That'll do. McLaren are pretty good at pit stops as well, and they're catching us. But we should be fairly well clear of Mercedes to finish 2nd in this, which is more prize money, weirdly. But yeah, we'll take it. And also we made another $1 million. So I think that's 5 races in a row where we've earned $1 million from the sponsors. Great. Means we have more money now because we don't have so many car bits to fix, which is also good. It's just all great. It's just fantastic, isn't it? The turnaround this team has gone on. It's been brilliant, absolutely unexpected. I didn't think we'd be this close, well, scoring points this regularly at this point of the season. I thought that would come a little bit later, or maybe we'd have a little purple patch and then we'd just sort of fall away again. But we are absolutely thriving right now, and we can put even more focus onto 2026 as a result. So yeah, it's going great guns. If you enjoyed the episode, leave a nice big thumbs up on the video for me. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content, and I'll see you next time. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.